Hey everyone, and welcome to this first unboxing video from the Models from Ukraine podcast. I'm Chris Meddings, the regular Models from Ukraine podcast host. So here we are, the first look, a box I've received from a good friend in Ukraine. Always exciting, wasn't expecting this one, so I didn't know what was inside. Let's have a look. So there it is. We have a gift from my good friend Eugen at DoraWings. And this is the Vultee Vanguard Mk.I/J10. As you can see, it comes very well packed. There's plenty of bubble wrap in there to protect the kit, and it's also sealed in cling film. On the side of the box art, we can see some of the recent releases from DoraWings, and on the other side, the alternative scheme, the Swedish J10. Let's have a look inside the box. So the cling film's off. We can see the fantastic box art. And as I said, on the side, we've got the Vultee Vengeance, the new Cauldron, which has been released. And on the other side, again, the Swedish scheme. There's a QR code there, so you can find out some more information about the kit and about DoraWings. Or you can go to DoraWings.com, which I heartily recommend, and order direct from them. Looking at the box art, there's a nice lamination effect on the aircraft and on the prop, which makes it pop out from the background. Let's have a look inside. I want to take the lid off. Again, the kit is protected by plenty of bubble wrap. Lifting that up, we can see inside all the sprues are carefully packed in a cellophane bag with the instructions and other details. Everything looks good, nothing broken, always a good sign. Let's open the bag. Let's have a look at the individual parts. First, the instruction set. I'll flip through there. Before we do, though, we come across the decals, which look very finely printed, beautifully in register. I believe these decals are by Decograph of Ukraine. Turn it over, we can see there's some great PE in there, including for the instrument panel, for wing spars and other details. Looking through, we can see that the instructions are very clearly laid out, not too busy. Nice good line drawings. Step by step. And some colour schemes in the back, including the RAF schemes and the Swedish schemes. Quite a number of schemes depicted, so plenty of choice for any modeller. And on the back, we have different paint options from different manufacturers. Let's have a look at the sprues. So we'll start with the lower wing. As you can see, there's some fantastic panel detail here, rivets and what have you. And inside we have 4 locating marks for the provided wing spar, which is great for getting the correct dihedral. Looks a little bit thin here, so you have to be careful separating that from the sprue. And on the upper wing, again, detail is excellent. You can see that the end of the wing is a solid piece, which means less filling to do. Hopefully that'll be a good joint between the lower and upper wing. Engine and cockpit sprue. The 2 banks of cylinders are solid pieces with front and back detail. Nice firewall. And as you can see, the cylinder detail is excellent. Moving on to this one, we've got the lower part of the cockpit. We've got the wing spar, 3-blade prop, 1 piece with the hub. The seat looks a little bit on the thick side, but nothing that can't be done with a little bit of filing and filling. Moving on to the next sprue with some more parts for the engines. Push rods look excellent, very finely moulded. We've got some interior framing for the cockpit. And lots of the small details. I always think these are the test of a kit. You can see how well moulded the kit is by how well these are done. And these are excellently represented. Trying to zoom in there and get a good look at the loom harness, which is excellent. So the main parts of the fuselage, 2 halves, pretty standard affair. Again, engraved panel lines are fine. Details are recessed. Excellent rivet detail. Should take a wash or whatever other kind of weathering you want to do really well. As you can see, there's no graining on the plastic. It's very smooth. So finally, the control surfaces. Once again, detail's excellent. Lots of rib detail. Perfectly moulded and represented. Sprue gates are very fine. Both the sprue gates and the engraved detail on this kit are a step up, I think, for the DoraWings kit I've seen. I've always liked Dora's kits, but this is another step forward in quality of production. Once again, we've got solid ends to the empennage, so should be a little bit less filling there, provided everything fits as well as it should. Separate control surfaces as well. Overall, I think this is a really superb kit. It's a big step forward for DoraWings on their already excellent kits, as I mentioned before. Detail is approaching, I think, now Wingsy and Edward levels, and it is really crisp, really sharp, and I would expect engineering to have taken a similar kind of move forward just based on the quality of the parts. You can buy this and other kits direct at DoraWings.com or from your favourite supplier, including from Albion Alloys in the UK or any of the stores they supply, such as Antics. You can also get them from Hannants and from other retailers around the world. That's it then for this inbox review. I'd like to remind you to pop along to hear a bit more from Eugen at modelsfromukrainepodcast.buzzsprout.com or on your favourite podcast app of choice. This episode features a great interview with him all about Dora and about his military service. It also features a really good chat with Robert Blocker, supporter of Models from Ukraine and the Models for Ukraine books. He's featured in both books. He talks about his dioramas, his World War I stuff, and his political work with the Great Polonium and Donald Trump choker bust. Really good listen. We go through all the sort of ins and outs and rights and wrongs of modelling political subjects, and I think it's a thought-provoking conversation. Last thing, as everyone always does, I have to ask you to like and subscribe and come back soon to see more content from Models from Ukraine podcast. Thanks for watching and Slava Ukraine.